I'm Nadia,
I'm
and
Dede.
this is Dede, my uncle. It's so cool because he's gonna be here today to talk about diversity and inclusion in the workplace. He's a lecturer in business environment at the University of Surabaya. What do they call that? Fakultas Business and Ekonomika.
Yeah.
Bahasa Indonesianya. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk in English and Indo mix gitu ya. So, hope you guys enjoy this session. So do you wanna say hi?
Halo, selamat malam semua. Terima kasih sudah tune in.
Okay, alright. Anything else you wanna say?
Oh ya, kita akan belajar mengenai keberagaman dan inklusi, sesuatu yang menurut saya penting di Indonesia saat ini.
Okay. Alright, so ya jadi alasannya kita hari ini kenapa kita kok live di Instastory itu karena we wanna create a community through Instagram. I thought it would be fun. Jadi Mitra Office is office supplies and stationery supplies distributor. Tapi kita juga mau talk about office. Kan kita juga kantor ya, what happens in the office and all that. And this session will be one of them. Okay, so I guess let's get to it. Talk about diversity and inclusion in the workplace. So, sebenarnya diversity and inclusion in the workplace itu, what is it all about? I mean, what does it mean?
Jadi memang umumnya ya di mana-mana aja itu kalau ada satu kelompok manusia, misalnya di tempat kerja, itu pasti ada keberagaman. Cuman diversity and inclusion itu sekarang menjadi kayak program atau pendekatan khusus dilakukan oleh banyak bisnis karena diyakini dan berdasarkan research juga bahwa kalau yang kerja itu beraneka ragam, mau jenis kelaminnya, mau agamanya, mau sukunya atau etnisitasnya, itu hasil akhirnya itu bisnisnya bisa lebih produktif.
Okay.
Alasannya begini, ketika orang berbagai macam itu kerja bersama, mereka harus belajar. Memang ada yang mengkritik, mengatakan, wah itu nanti kan banyak yang berkelahi gitu-gitu. Ya tapi konflik itu juga bagian dari penyelesaian konflik itu bagian dari interaksi. Artinya orang yang satu golongan aja belum tentu nggak konflik kan. Nah, ketika dia harus belajar dari situ, dan mungkin ada ide-ide yang tidak terpikir oleh misalnya yang Kristen misalnya, lalu yang Buddhis kemudian punya pikiran gitu, atau prinsip-prinsip yang tidak terpikir oleh satu golongan, terpikir oleh yang lain gitu. Itu idenya. Dan juga memang idenya kan kalau inklusi itu bagus karena semua orang diberi kesempatan untuk kerja. Yang paling akhir itu sebetulnya orang dengan disabilitas. Tentu saja harus dicarikan pekerjaan-pekerjaan yang memungkinkan. Kayak misalnya jadi receptionist gitu ya. Kalau misalnya dia hanya di kursi roda kan nggak apa-apa, bisa, dia bisa bicara. Nah kalau misalnya dia deaf mute agak susah memang, karena bisa customernya nggak bisa signing kan, nggak bisa pakai bahasa isyarat ya, itu lain lagi. Itu dia ditaruh di tempat lain, mungkin di tempat lain yang tidak memerlukan bicara dan mendengarkan. Meskipun beberapa orang yang deaf mute juga karena pendidikan yang tepat itu bisa bicara dan bisa membaca bibir orang sehingga bisa komunikasi. Nah kalau orang seperti itu ya bisa aja ditaruh di receptionistnya hotel misalnya gitu.
I see. We can switch to English if somebody asks that we speak English. They will understand.
Oh sure, yeah.
Okay. So then the second question that I would want to ask you is what would be the purpose of a company to have diversity and inclusion at the workplace? You explained about that just now.
Yes. So the idea is that when there is diversity in the workplace, the people from different backgrounds then would need to learn about each other, or they will come up with ideas that let's say one group of people that haven't thought about. So that's how this works, and studies have shown that the more diverse a company is, then the more productive it is. ya jadi lebih produktif gitu.
Okay.
And I think the reverse side is there have been studies on the cost of exclusion. Let's say you don't want a certain believers in a religion to be part of your company or a certain ethnic group. That has actually resulted in losses and reduced profits, for example. So it's so now especially large companies, international companies, have a diversity and inclusion vice president.
Okay.
Have a special section, and it depends on where it is. Now, in Hong Kong, for example, because most Chinese people are not really religious.
Okay.
I mean, they worship ancestors, but so people from Hong Kong who go to church or or who are Christian, sometimes they get the looks, because they pray before a meal. Now, so you need to actually teach people you should respect people who pray before a meal.
Okay.
It's their belief, and so it actually improves relations, and thereby you increase productivity. That's the theory, and now I guess most companies are convinced.
All right. So I was gonna ask why is it important and how will it benefit us, but you've already kind of explained that, yeah, because it increases productivity and all that, yeah, and makes people appreciate one culture to another, and that's very good. So okay, so we're talking about people who are in the audience who I suppose are business owners here or practitioners in Indonesia, so mostly Indonesia based. How
Right.
do we support diversity and inclusion in the workplace in Indonesia? How would we
Well,
do
when you
that?
recruit, you make sure that you give the same opportunity, equal opportunity to everyone. Different genders, different ethnic groups. It's good, and it's also good for the customers. I mean, imagine if you're even if you're like a small business,
Yeah.
and then somebody who's, let's say, I don't know, I'm going rather extreme here. Let's say you're sick.
Okay.
And you see somebody in a turban in the shop. Wow, I can come to this shop, and also you can speak the language.
Okay.
I think without emphasizing too much, a lot of if you look at successful shop owners, they can talk in different languages. Like in Pekanbaru, Malay shop owners learn Hokkien because many of their customers speak Hokkien. If they only speak Malay, the people who speak Hokkien might not come to their shop.
Yeah.
So it's just it makes
And vice versa,
it makes
yeah.
business sense.
Vice versa
Yeah,
for Chinese business owners as well.
I mean, depending on the area and things like that. Of course, here in Java, most that's why there are sometimes people are surprised. These ethnic Chinese shop owners, they speak good Javanese or good Sundanese. Well, because it's good business.
I see.
So that's the idea of diversity.
Okay, so what are some of the issues in Indonesia right now about diversity and inclusion? Like, I mean, gender equality is something that's going on really big these days. Like everyone's like onto
and actually,
these things.
I happened to see infographics yesterday that a group of my students presented at Ubaya, and Indonesia is actually one of the better ones.
Oh.
Yeah, of the ASEAN countries, we actually pretty good. Probably
good to
number
know.
1 or 2 in terms of gender parity, gender equality. So that's already good. Now the next challenge, which will show up, is actually how do you include trans people? Increasingly now, trans women, trans women especially, are better educated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and actually in Jakarta already, international companies will hire them.
Oh,
and
that's great.
it doesn't matter. I mean, it's good for them. It's good for the company, and depends on here's something that is a bit stereotypical. If you are running a TV station, my bet is that many of your makeup artists would be trans women.
Oh yeah. Most probably, yeah.
If you exclude them, you're losing on, I don't know, maybe 50% of the best makeup artists in Jakarta, or because TV stations are in Jakarta. So
Yeah.
there you go. But of course we have to make sure that we're not discriminating against women who are good makeup artists as well, or men, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so just to wrap it up, I think the sort of culture that we should promote in the workplace is something that's modern and progressive, and so we want to promote equality, that everyone can be a part of the working culture.
These
to
days,
create,
I think it's okay to mention big companies because they're already big anyway. But the likes of Body Shop, Starbucks, IKEA, by showing that they are diverse and inclusive, customers are happy, and they would probably, not everyone goes to Starbucks, but people know that Starbucks supports diversity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and also things like only buy coffee from happy farmers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. If farmers are oppressed by a regime, Starbucks is not buy that coffee. So it's like it's called fair trade. It's called good business practices, and so it's. I think it's the future. It's already here with some companies, and I think smaller companies, like it doesn't hurt to imitate them and try, to include people.
Okay, all right. So, one thing that I'm always curious, because in Indonesia, as I myself as a SME owner, there are things that we consider for people, our staffs who have children and don't have children. So how would you treat those kind of people?
Well, the standard practice now, of course, in larger companies, I don't know about smaller companies, is to have daycare.
Oh yeah, they
At work.
At work.
Then your children are there. You don't have to worry, and children get taken care of, get probably good education as well, and it doesn't cost the company much. It's a few nannies and a few daycare teachers, and you look good to the society.
Because then you care about your people.
And I'm sure people who are in the business know. If it costs something, charge it to the customers.
Okay, I think that's about it that we're talking today.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Terima kasih.
Yeah, terima kasih, and see you on the next Instagram live. All right.
Okay, bye.
See you around.